region. You're all state, but you don't have your award because he was the state player of the year for AA for the second time. He was at his sophomore year and he's at this year, which is a huge honor. He was also region player of the year. He is also the most valuable pitcher and most valuable player. This guy, you know, he was our guy. You know, if it's a game that we gotta win, Walker's pitching. If it's, you know, a situation where what can you say about Walker as a player? Honestly, what can you say? He was our best pitcher every year except for maybe one. In numbers wise, but over the career, going back as far as I can go back and look at the numbers, nobody really competes with Walker when it comes to strikeouts or ERA, which are the numbers that pitchers love to measure themselves by, and rightly so. Nobody's close. As a hitter, 3-4 every single year, hitting home runs, driving in runs, always getting hot in the playoffs, absolutely carrying us every single year in the playoffs. Even last year, when he didn't have the offensive year that I think he thought he was going to have, or that we thought he was going to have, the playoffs came and he carried us. First at bat against EVA, we're already down 2-0. He hits a 3-run home run. I mean, that's Walker. It's just he's one of those. If I were still with some of my teammates when I played, we would call him chosen. He's the chosen one. He's just one of those guys that the situation finds and he comes through. That was him as a player. For 4 years. I remember 5 years. I remember first year we took the job, I was talking to Jarrett Leverett, and I was talking to him about our team, and I was trying to get Luke and Bryce to come and throw with him, and he was like, hey, keep an eye on the Roberts kid. And I was like, oh yeah, who's that? You know, again, I didn't know who I had and what I didn't have. And he was like, Walker Roberts, he's going to be in 8th grade. He was like, going to have to compete with basketball too, but the kid's a player. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, yeah, he's going to pitch for you, I guarantee you. And I think he can hit too. I was like, really? So we did this little camp for middle schoolers before the season started. It was like the weekend before the first season, the season started in 2021, and Walker came to it. And I watched him hit. And the minute I watched him hit, I was like, this kid's going to be on varsity. Like, he was the first one that I really noticed, and mainly it was because of the pitching thing, but he was the first of the 8th graders that I really knew. I was like, this guy's going to be on varsity as an 8th grader, and he's going to help us. And it was because, man, he's so smooth. His swing is so good. His mound presence is top notch. He doesn't get rattled. Even as an 8th grader, we threw him into I couldn't have thrown him into a worse situation as an 8th grader, game 3 of the state championship. I mean, yeah. But it was one of those things, I trusted him. I knew that Walker was going to go out there and give us a chance. Obviously, as an 8th grader, you're not looking for an 8th grader to go out there and shut anybody down. But you're looking for a guy that's going to go out there and give you your best chance to win in that game 3. And Walker gave us that. You know, until he ran out of absolute gas, and I think we exhausted every pitch he had. Yeah, he got to his pitch limit. He gave us everything he had, and we were still in the ballgame. And that was exactly what we asked for. He got a hit. He was one of the only ones to get a hit against Mobley that year in the game. I think he's the one. I had sent Gavin Freed home. No, I had sent Charlie Rutherford home, and Gavin Freed single to center, got him thrown out because, honestly, I sent him because Walker was coming up. It was a lefty-lefty matchup against a dirty lefty, and he's an 8th grader. I'm like, I'm going to take my chance. Got him thrown out. And freaking Walker comes up and hits a single up the middle. And I was like, wish he had struck out there. Would have made me feel a lot better if he had struck out there. But at the same time, it shows you something. You know, those guys, again, it goes back to that 8th grade year, showing me what they were capable of. But I think that, you know, Walker, again, you know, you have this special group of players. This group of seniors that went to 5 straight state championships, which is huge. It's not as easy as they made it look. You have so many talented players on it. But I think that Walker winning the Player of the Year award as a sophomore and then again as a senior, I think that kind of underlines the impact that he had on our team on that side of the game, on the field, or whether it's on the mound. He played third base, shortstop. Did you play second base at all? I don't know. First base, left center field, and right field. I ain't gonna catch it. But he played everywhere but second base and catcher, and I don't think most people would have done that with Walker. I think they would have seen Walker and probably stuck him in one spot because, he was that talented of a player. But what I saw in Walker was a pure athlete. I saw a guy that could move around, that could impact our team and fill holes in every single spot so that other guys can get comfortable where they are, because Walker was not uncomfortable. He would figure it out. He was that kind of athlete. And finally, it just got to the point to where Walker was our Swiss Army knife. We got to where it was like we were comfortable putting him anywhere. If somebody was going to have to go in here, we're going to put Walker there. And that was the impact that he had on the field. But to finish it off and to wrap up the night, with Walker, the impact that I think that he had on our dugout and on us as a coaching staff. Look, there are players. We had so many good players, and at times each player could have been considered, the best player, or this guy and that guy. This guy was the best player. This guy's the best player. I know how afraid other coaches were of several of our guys in different series and stuff like that. But I know from the coaches' meetings and stuff like that, I know how much fear Walker put into other teams. And we could use Walker in playoff series as something to honestly put fear in the other team. They had to plan around him. And being that they had to plan around him, it automatically gave us an upper hand in the way that we could schedule our pitching, in the way that we could do our lineup, and just having him be that guy, but also be the guy that, like I said before, was humble and was kind. I don't think I ever saw Walker have a hard time with another player on another team. He may have gotten fired up. And I'm not saying it's wrong to have an issue with another player on another team, but what I'm trying to say is that when your player that everybody's afraid of walks out onto the field with the confidence to not engage in any of the shenanigans that the other team is doing and not let it rattle them, not let it bother them, just stay focused on what we're doing and get the job done and dominate them, I think that does so much for your program, and it does so much for the optics of who you are as a team and as a Gatewood. And I got so many compliments on Walker because of the way that he would carry himself in games. Hey, that Roberts kid, man, he's special, but he's a bulldog. Yeah, man, he's a dog. He's a dog. Hey, man, that guy threw a great game. But golly, man, how does he keep his composure right there? And that's just him. He doesn't get rattled. And I think that right there is just such a special quality. And I want to say thank you to Walker for being that guy, for being the guy that in your way of leading, when you could have been the guy that was the look at me guy all the time, you could have. You didn't. Instead, you led the way you led, and the teammates had their ways of going about their leadership ways, and it worked so well. Because I'll be honest, like when one of your best players has the ego trip and they want to be whatever they want to be, it can create problems for a team. But when you've got a team of leaders, 7, 8, 9 of them, all good players, all at the time can be the best players that they are, and they gel together because each guy's willing to check his ego and just be who he is, that's when special things happen. And I'm hoping that these young guys over here, I'm hoping that you guys have paid attention to what these guys have done, and that you guys find your own way forward and are able to continue what these guys have set a precedent for. Again, I know I said I would be done. I didn't do it. I talked for 2.5 hours. But there's a lot to say. This was a special night.